Well, as you remember, I've already worked on this door, and I did a little bit of work on this. I had to suck a hinge over, kind of like what you've seen me do on video already. I've already done lots of stuff on this door, and check out those videos. This one was fine. This one had to be lined up ever so slightly, but I basically did this one no different than one of the other doors that I did downstairs, and I made videos of it. So I basically did pretty much the same thing, other than the gap. It wasn't, what's happening here? Oh, okay. I was looking at my camera and something was flashing. I thought it was a battery, but it's the SIM card. It says I got 4 minutes here. This needed to be raised up a little bit, and the gap was smaller down there. And so what did I do? This door here I raised up, so I sucked that hinge over, that lifted that up, that created a little bit smaller gap there. And I actually have everything lined up. I got plenty of gap up there, you know, to open and close the doors. And this one was good. I also had to work on these double doors. Usually double doors give you fits because you've got two moving parts, and the door jamb is way over there. So sometimes it could be this door sagging, getting close to this door, or this door sagging too close, or you know, it's hard for door installers to get this just right. In fact, I had to take this hinge out over here, and I believe, what did I do? I tweaked that hinge over at an angle, and I did it the same way that I did that other one. I undid this. How did I do that? No, that's not the one. That's not the one. I didn't do it that way. I think I did it over. I can't tell now. Nope, I had to suck that hinge over, and because this door was up a little bit too high, and so I lowered that by moving that over, and it gave me, that's right, it gave me an extra gap at the bottom, because that was almost touching. Now see the gap there now? I got plenty. And I couldn't move this door over because it was hitting the edge, and that was tight. I ended up moving that side over. I got it all lined up. It all looks good. That's not really part of this video. It's just knowing that you can do different things like that. Here's another double door, and what did I have to do? I ended up sucking these two hinges over like I do, because I didn't have as much gap there. And so I pushed that over that way and lined everything up, and that was fine then. Okay, so different things that I keep needing to do on different doors. Well, this door here, this is what this video is about, is this door is not really sagging. I got plenty of gap up there, but look how big the gap is right there. So this is the very opposite, and I got enough room up there. It almost looks like the door is sagging, but if the door is sagging, I'd have this door almost hitting the edge of the door stop, and I don't. Okay, and look down here. See the gap on the side of the door here? Well, down at the bottom, it's touching. Look, it's touching. So I'm gonna fix this. It's a very opposite. If you were watching one of my other videos, you'll know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this hinge, I'm going to angle it over a little bit, and I'm going to do that in a nice, easy way. I'm going to put a couple screws in there. You just have to watch this and see. And that's going to move the door over that way. It's going to get this big gap smaller, and it's going to get this no gap bigger. Okay? So if you want to watch that, maybe you've got issues like that with your own doors. So keep watching. That's what's coming up. All right. I'm happy. I had one extra SIM card, and I freed it up, so I got enough to put like 15 hours of video on this one SIM card. Okay, so I'm going to take this hinge and swivel it around. How am I going to do that again? I think I got it all figured out. And let's see. I'm trying to set this up to where you can kind of see what I'm doing. I think right like that. Okay. Oh, I gotta lock the door because I don't want anyone coming in. Let's see. I'm losing daylight, but I think there's plenty of daylight here where you can see this. This is how I'm gonna fix this. 2 little screws, that's it. Okay, those are the same type of screws to go into hinges or strike plates, door strike plates. You're scratching your head, aren't you? Wondering, how is he going to do that? I could have tweaked the hinges, the hinge knuckles like I did before. I showed you that before, remember? On another video. I just kind of push on that to loosen that. Get a little screwdriver under there. Pop that out. This hinge ultimately is going to come out at a slight angle. Okay? Which means I'm going to get a little small drill bit, a little bit smaller than the screws I'm going to put in. And I have to put them to the outside, about, right about like that, somewhere in there. I don't want to get too close to this edge, and that could be a little bit close. I might go on the inside of that, yeah, about like that. Try about there. Just reaming that out a little bit. No, I'm working right here. Okay. I gotta let her in. Sorry, come on. You can come in, sorry. I just didn't want you to open it and bang up against the door. I've got my video camera on.
Thank you.
So please don't say anything mean to me.
I won't.
No, she wouldn't anyways. Okay. Where are we? Right here. Okay. So, I'm going to get my set up. Sticking it on low. No, that's high. Okay, there I got it. See, I got to put this screw in right there. And I don't want to split the wood. I should have. I can't get it too close because I gotta have this hinge. It's kind of tricky on these because these are only 3.5 inch long hinges. They're not as wide as like a 4-inch hinge. I'm gonna have to leave it right there because I'm gonna put those 2 screws in there. I'm just using the screw as a shim. And then this still has to be pushed in tight. That's why I gotta have the screw away as far as I can. But I don't want to split that. Okay. And those are just gonna stick out, and that's my shim. Okay? Like that. That's gonna give me just enough room. Okay. Bye-bye.
Right back.
Okay. Just knock on the door.
Right.
Okay. I just didn't want her to bang into the door because it's right up against the garage. Okay. Now, I can push this back in. Yeah, just that much. You're like, that is gonna fix this whole door, Joe? Nah, come on. Okay. Yeah. Gonna try to see. And if that doesn't do it, if I need more, see, I just take the screw and I unscrew the screw a little bit. That's my shim. It's an adjustable shim. Okay. Ay, ay, ay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Obviously those screws are not gonna, they're just gonna go tight on the face. But that creates that slight angle of the hinge. We're gonna see if that does it. That's it. This screw, did you see that? It's spinning. This one. See? I'll probably take that out, pre-drill a little, take the same bit, drill it in there, and put a longer screw so it goes into the wood stud. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to move everything. We're going to see if that did the trick. And I'm doing this because the painter's going to be here and I don't want to be on the painter's way tomorrow. Look, there's a little bit of a gap. You see? This gap is a little bit bigger. There's a little bit of a gap. But that gap is still pretty big, right? But guess what I'm going to do? I'm not even going to turn the camera off. I'm going to get you back down in there. Get you set up. And I'm going to... I'm kind of glad it didn't go in all the way, because now I can show you how we're going to adjust this. Very simple. Simple Simon. I'm going to get this out of the way. And I'm going to get my reach. Okay. My Phillips screwdriver. Just going to unscrew that shim, that screw. Okay. That's probably plenty. I'm going to try that right there. And now, see, it almost looks flat, but once I get that screw in there, it's going to be right where it needs to be. I'm going to try to get the hinge over just a hair further. Pulling on the door. That's the one. Okay. Shoot. That's not holding because it was stripped out. Alright. So I'm going to have to get my little drill bit out. Let it stick in just a little bit. That one was stripped out anyway. Now, I've got just enough room to get my drill in here. And high and forward. Okay. And I'm going to have to, this time I'm going to have to stop the camera. Sorry about that. And I've got some 2-inch long screws that look just like these screws. Be right back. Round 2 coming up. Okay. I got 2-inch screws, the same head and everything. I even got some 2.5s in case I need them. But on this particular door, 2-inch screw should be fine. Right there. At the angle of how I drilled it. Come on. Okay, that's good. And these other screws, see, they might, they're snug. They're not going in as far, but I got all the holding power to this hinge is this one right here. It's not going to go anywhere. Now this has got a nice tilt on it. And is that going to be enough? Do you think that's going to be enough? I think it is. Let's check it. We'll check it and see. We'll check it and see. I wanted to do this one this way because, you know, you remember the other way that I tweaked a hinge? I mean, I could have tweaked a hinge. I'm going to take this camera off the tripod. Okay. I could have taken the hinge knuckles. See the nice gap I got now? Look. Look it. It's almost too much. But it's better. It's better. And if anything ever sags, probably that bottom screw is going to prevent this from sagging, but I also create just a hair bigger gap up there. I think I might want to just do one little turn and bring this back. But see, it's way easier for how I'm doing this because it's the very opposite. I could have taken the knuckles and bent them this way, or actually I would have had to have bent them the very opposite direction, away from the door, away from the door, away from the door, like that, and that could have created me a gap too. Okay, but this way, then I'm taking the door down 3 times and messing around with it and all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's why I'm putting the screws back here. And I ended up, if you watched one of my other videos, I forget which one it is now, I'm getting so confused because I'm doing so many videos for you. But we did that on another door, didn't we? And we got it fixed. I remember that. That happened. I don't even remember which hinge it was. I'm getting brain dead here, working on so many different doors. But I like this idea. Because I don't have to take the door up and down and bend the hinge knuckles, and see, so now I'm just screwing the shim in just that much, that's all. Because remember, I had it just a little bit tighter than that before. Trying to make sure they're both about the same. That looks pretty good. Okay. Let's keep it right like that. It's trial and error is what you've got going. There. I could tell it's tight. And see, I'm just going these 7/8 or so. Get my screwdriver out, snug it up. There. I'm going to say that's probably pretty darn good, but I'm not going to make an assumption. I don't like making assumptions. We're going to look at that. Ah, good grief. Do I really want to unscrew that some more? It was the bottom of this door jamb is sucked over this way too far. Obviously it can't go over because the door casing here is the baseboards there. It's still not happy with that. Okay, you get the idea, right? Back we go again. And you just keep playing with it until you get it to your liking. this never would have flown had I not put a long screw in that middle one. You know. Plus, that middle one was already starting to strip. You saw it. Okay, let's see here. Straight up. That much. That much. Stop, Lammy. Whew. I didn't think I had it backed out that far from last time, but I guess I did. I'm not perfect on the first shot, but I'm going to stick with it until it gets done, and it gets done right. Yeah, that's what I want to instill in you when you're doing projects. Might as well do it right. Most of the time it doesn't take much longer to do it right than it does to do it wrong. In this case, it's taking me a little bit longer, but I'm liking that now. I'm okay with that. See how it moved it away from the door? See how it's tilted out at an angle as opposed to the hinge that's straight on? This one happens to be tilted out at an angle, and just that much. Prop that over right exactly where I want it to be. Okay? I'm done. I am done. I'm calling that door good. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. Yay.